Okay, hi there. My name is Tom. I live in Indiana, and I am not a professional YouTuber. I'm really an amateur at this. But I hope you'll excuse the quality of the YouTube for the quality of the information I'm about to give you about a problem I've solved. And that problem has to do with a new 2022 Honda Accord Hybrid that I just bought a few weeks ago. And if you've seen any reviews of this car on YouTube, and there are a lot of them, this is not another Honda Accord review. I want to go through what I had to do to put a real spare tire in this car. It's not difficult, but it took a lot of research, and I'd just like to share that information with you. So there's the car. It's really fun to drive. It was traded or purchased with a trade of a 2019 Insight, which I really like too. But had a little extra money laying around at the end of the year and decided that I wanted to try the Accord out as well. This is the Touring Edition. It's red. There have been, like I said, a lot of reviews made about this car, and strangely most of them are red or white. Which is, I love the red color, and apparently a lot of other people like it too. Two things I don't like about this car. One is the fact that it comes without a spare tire. It comes with this jury-rigged system with an inflator, and second is the passenger side seat is not adjustable, and those have both been highlighted in quite a few reviews. So let's dig into the trunk and see what I did to fix that spare tire program. There's not a lot I can do about the seat. So I've pulled all the parts out, and on the left is the tire inflator. I had the Insight for 3 years, and during that 3 years I had 2 tires go bad, both of them from potholes. And those potholes totally destroyed the sidewalls on those tires. That inflator kit right there from Honda will not fix a broken sidewall. And in both cases, or the first case, I didn't have a spare tire yet, but I borrowed a spare from a friend. He happened to have one that fit my car, and a jack, because it doesn't come with a jack either. So I jacked it up, took the tire in, had the tire replaced. Luckily it didn't damage the rim, and then went back the next day and jacked the car back up and replaced the tire, or the wheel too. Back on the car, drove it off. If I had been out in the middle of the Arizona desert when that happened, no telling what it would have cost to get it towed in. So here are the 3 major pieces of the kit other than the wheel. We've got a ratchet that turns the jack screw and jacks the car up. The jack itself, which is now upside down, because that's how I had to mount it in the styrofoam, and the lug wrench. Over here we have the styrofoam piece that I ordered from Honda and had to modify. And the modification, main modification at least, was, you see that big hole in the middle? That was much smaller. That's an 8-inch diameter hole that I had to cut out. I used a hole saw to do that with. It's not very pretty, but it works. And the rest of those parts are the lug wrench sockets. There are several of them for different size cars, and they supply you with some extra lug nuts. The yellow funnel is something that Honda provides in case you need it to, because some places, I guess, there are some fuel hoses or nozzles that won't fit quite right in that new Honda capless fuel tank system. So they give you that. I don't know if I read it or not, but since I had it, it had fit very nicely in there. Obviously, that's where it goes in the original. But this did not fit quite right. So when I had to trim up a few other little bits and pieces. As you can see, the rough there, I had to take some out to get the jack to fit correctly. Up down here, I had to cut out a little bit. That's where the lug wrench goes. The original lug wrench is apparently straight. And let's see, where's the other piece? Oh yeah, right here. That's where the socket ratchet goes, or the ratchet that turns the jack screw on the jack, and it didn't quite fit, so I had to cut a little bit of a notch out there. Other than that, it fits back perfectly. So let's turn around and take a look at the spare tire and how it fits in the well. There's our spare, and you can see it fits perfectly. It is essentially the same diameter as the wheels that come on the car. The part that I had to buy from Honda was that bolt right there and that black plastic washer, and it fits perfectly. It's just like this was the OEM spare tire, but this is actually nicer than the OEM spare tire. That's an aluminum alloy wheel, and it fits on the car perfectly because I jacked up the car with the new jack and took the right front wheel off and mounted this spare on there, tightened it up, and went off and drove it. Obviously the tire pressure warning system, the TPMS, goes off. Other than that, though, it works perfectly. And unlike most compact spares, this one is rated for 80 miles an hour on the road. So you don't need to worry about anything other than TPMS going off, and you can travel on this thing 60, 70 miles an hour. It's rated for it. It's also rated for up to 3,000 pounds of load, and the car only weighs about 3,400, so no problem there. This is a good, strong, high-speed tire, at least high speed. It's not quite as high speed as the originals, but you really don't have to worry too much. I didn't drive it fast enough to test the balance, but that would be the least of your worries. So if someone from Honda is watching this, and I hope there is, take it from this 76-year-old driver. I'm used to having a spare in the trunk, and I really don't like having to spend this money to have to fix this problem that you engineered into this car. There's no reason to put this silly inflator in this thing and then have somebody get stuck out in the middle of nowhere just because they hit a chuck hole and flattened a tire. It's a simple matter to change a tire. Most people, I think, know how to do it. And if you don't, you need to figure it out real quick, because it's probably going to happen to you at some point, and you won't be able to fix it yourself unless you have a spare and can drive it somewhere where you can get the tire repaired or replaced. And it can be very expensive to have a car towed in these days. So Honda, if you're listening, fix this problem, please. And thank you very much for listening, and enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you, if you have one of these Hondas, I hope this is helpful and that you can use this information to fix this problem, and you really, really need to do that. Unfortunately, you have no choice other than DIY. Oh, by the way, I did go to Honda and ask them if they had a solution for this. They did for my Insight. They had a reasonably priced kit. Cost about the same as this kit cost me, which was all the pieces put together was about a little under $500. The Insight's kit was about I think about $400, but they priced out a kit. They don't have a kit in stock. They don't have one. They don't have a part number for it, but they priced out a solution for me. It was over $1,000, and it wouldn't even fit in the wheel well quite right. So that's what led me to do some research and come up with this solution. I ordered it off of Amazon, but they don't keep it in stock. They have another supplier they ship it from. Took about 2 weeks to get it. Hope this is useful. Thanks very much for watching.